three components of buoyancy. Find the volume of the submerged portion of the object. Find the density of your fluid. Find the amount of downward force acting on the system. Multiply these components. Volume times density times force. Compare the result to the original gravity. If it's greater, it floats. Buoyancy is the force acting against the direction of gravity that affects all objects, submerged in a fluid.
Girl, I'm getting ready for the Exodus show tonight. I can't explain. There's just something about him. Let me call you back, girl. My jam is on. Let me call you back.
Boy, you looking like you like what you see. Won't you come over and check up on it? I'ma let you walk up on it. Please let him check up on it. Watch it while he check up on it. Tip it, pop it, talk it, stop it, check on me tonight. Got it, flown it, so I know you want it. While I turn around, you watch me check up on it. You watching me shake it, I see it in your face. Can't take it, it's blazing. Watch me amazing.
I'll do it for the ladies. I gotta keep it hood. Oh yeah, Cola. I see you right. Don't keep doing right. We just get started. Yeah, man. You see, you're searching for somebody that'll take you out and do you right. Oh, come here, baby, and let daddy show you what it feels like. You know all you gotta do is tell me what you're sipping on. And I promise that I'm gonna keep it coming all night long. That's why you want me outside. And nothing to show you got a thing for you. Yeah, doing it on purpose. Yeah, I can tell by the way you looking at me, girl. And I make love in this club. In this club. In this club.
The DJ plays my mix. For 2 minutes and 39 seconds, we belong together. Their eyes wide and arms open, the audience reaches for me. I become the yellow bricks paved in a passageway, easing them on down the road. I sing to the she in the sequin blue dress standing in the front row, who was born a he but always identified as a she. Molded to accept hetero traditions and never grow, only ever wanting to be considered as just me. Yeah, I sing to her when she visits the club every second Tuesday. On the mic, paying homage to the stage, my body's taken, offered as an instrument, and led by the essence of kings and queens before me. Bass lines bounce off broken hearts, longing for equality, temporarily sedated by soul-stirring renditions. We make our nights together magical. Strangled by my sensuality, fingertips grab for my aura, and the crowd bellows. They are here for Exodus.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
I was 8, the first time my mother left my brother to babysit alone. Mikey came over and traded his Hulk Hogan and Marty Jannetty action figures for time with me. I didn't know I was for sale. My brother was 10 and rarely received gifts on his birthdays, so 2 action figures were enough. He was a white boy. Tears bubbling, they forced me into a closet. My brother stood watch for him. I loved my brother. He was the only man I had. I held on to the good parts of him when he was lost. I remember not agreeing to the terms of this arrangement. I remember my brother peering through the crack of the closet, my mother never coming home, and the smell of bologna on Mikey's breath. I never snitched. My silence gave him freedom, and that's what black boys needed. When my mother was home, she would disappear in the bathroom for hours. Her and Tony Braxton bonded over keyboard synths and heartache. Within 10 minutes of locking herself in, vapor would create a path underneath the doorway. My mother was never really present in person, but her degradation of me rarely took a day off. I learned to make myself scarce. Even when she took from my confidence, piggy bank, and occasional opportunities, my success hurt her. It was a reminder of what she could have been had she made the right choices. Sometimes at night, I hear her inaudible screams muffled by the bedroom door. She cried for the woman she witnessed being pummeled to death by my grandfather in their tub when she was a teenager. She recalls the blood smeared against the bathroom wall. She'd occasionally confide in me, and I'd feel bad for her. I understood her trauma. Every day, she hanged my dreams with permission from the experiences raping hers. My silence empowered her. My silence empowered everyone around me. The strides, a scope and a spectrum in which I exist. No hue defines the lines that encompass my structure, ticking, calculating every moment until the air surrenders to my feet. Those steps are magical. Existing infinitely, there's no way to tell the space between freedom and boundary. How can you join me on a journey when we are free? Escape with me. Everything I've been through, not everything you see, everything I am, everything I hope, everything I dream. Eyes wide shut, cause open's too extreme when I see the price to be. Letting go of me, pressure creeps. And the public showing me, I'm 3/5 of human, my skin ain't worth knowing me. If being a good person ain't what you say, but what you do. I done met a lot of bad people disguising agendas in a room. I call this the S effect. Shit on everyone but you. Everything different, everything you're not, everything you wish you could do. I have 20 thoughts, and every second of my life, 20 thoughts to help me move while second guessing in my life. Should I buy fried chicken from Whole Foods and eat it with a fork and knife? Or admit I don't fuck with fried chicken, but watermelons are aight? Although I'm not a criminal, how do I stay up out of prison? If a gun's in my body, is a person holding Trump or Martin's vision. If I follow every rule, I'll be progressing in my life. Constitution in effect, adding stress up in my life. My family preach a gospel, not respecting of my life. Following all fathers, be rejecting of my life. So I call myself spiritual and protector of my wife, protector of myself, a nigga with superpowers in the night. I'm not saying I'm always right, but I'm mostly never wrong. 20 thoughts, and every second of my life. 20 thoughts that help me move while second guessing in my life. 20 thoughts keep me surviving the attempts upon my life. 20 thoughts, every second. 20 thoughts, and every second of my life. 20 thoughts help me move while second guessing in my life. 20 thoughts keep me surviving the attempts upon my life. 20 thoughts, 20 thoughts. I don't know how I feel about God. Is it truthful with slavery taught? Religion wanna bring us together, but that shit just tear us apart. I fake straight to dodge hate. Is that selling out? I find more peace in silence and more violence when helping out. If I wasn't who I was, this shit wouldn't apply to even people in my culture. Find ways to vilify me, coping with mental illness. Suicides out to find me emotionally complex. I'm valuable as is, had to reflect on how I got this way, forgot my respect. And I deserve it. Code switch and replay. Now my purpose, try to get by every day. Doing a disservice, how did I get this way? Had to reflect, emotionally complex. And I'm still hurt, just my thoughts.
Thank you guys for joining us on our exploration. This is a spontaneous composition, so we don't know what is going on.
Buoyancy is the force acting against the direction of gravity that affects all objects, submerged in a fluid.
So this is their second show, the last show for the show.
Yeah, I love the show. I am appreciative anytime I'm able to see particularly Black artists talk about things that matter to them. I was moved by both of the pieces. I think the first piece that I saw, there was just life and energy and love and tragedy. It was perfectly human. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the words to describe completely how it made me feel, but I enjoyed both of the pieces. Both of them made me think, made me feel, and made me laugh. So to the artists that put time and effort into the pieces, I feel honored. So.
I think the last piece was the title of it, Buoyancy, is pretty perfect because DW asked at the end of the show like, if we had any feelings. And the thing I really took away from it was like strength. Because you think of buoyancy and what that means. And it's like an object doesn't have a choice to be buoyant almost. It's just naturally like that. So regardless of like what it's floating on, what situation it's come from, the strength of it still like allows it to like sit on top of the surface and just naturally buoyant. Strength to come out here and like, put your ideas and be on that platform. Yeah.
I was really excited about the energy we received from the audience. I felt like the young kids were really interested and fresh-eyed and had a lot of feelings about the things that we were presenting, whereas the older crowd was really excited to reflect on feelings they might have already had about subjects that we were talking about, and both of the groups were able to identify with the different music we were using and the subject, so I just was really excited again about the variety of people that we were reaching. It was a great response.
We'll keep it moving. So I just want to introduce quickly the choreographer, director of the show, and the makeup artist who dressed Exodus, Kinga McCraven. I don't know if I said director, but she's also the director. And I want to introduce Gloria Moyes, the principal role for Dion. And I also want to acknowledge Jason Eckenroth, my technical director, who did all this technical stuff and the sound that you hear, putting all my music together and all that stuff. So I just want to say shout out to him. He also edited the script. So I just want to say shout out to him, even though he's not here today. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to everybody who helped us. And I'm going to introduce myself. I'm DW McCraven, and I'm the creator of the show. The stories are mine. And I want to take time to open up the floor to you all. And I'm going to say a feeling. I want to ask you a feeling first. What feeling comes to mind when you think about this show or when you watch this show? I'm going to come to me when you're ready. Any feeling? Yes, sir. Oh, let me get you the mic.
The feeling is heavy. Even though the theme is buoyancy, there's some things that
that are really heavy.
For me, it feels like definite, like you've made a decision, resolute, sitting in it, that you feel like you've finally come home. What kind of feeling?
I want to acknowledge other people here, so does anybody else have a feeling before we move on? Okay.
I guess I'll say anchored. When you guys were dancing, I could see like at one point you were holding her up and then vice versa. So yeah.
Now that we have a couple feelings out there, I'm going to ask you, do you have any questions for myself, for the cast, any of the creators? Okay, over here.
Okay, in a previous piece that I heard yesterday, someone asked the question of, I didn't hear the pain in their voice, and was it just because there was always pain in their voice, and it just kind of, they were used to it, and so there's a calmness within you when we're hearing you speak. There's a calmness within you before you're doing your piece, after you're doing your piece, and when you're on stage. But there's also like a lot of there was a lot of realness to it, and so I'm wondering, has there ever been a point where you have broken down, or have you already been broken or whole, and that's just how you move? If that makes sense.
It's a real deep question. Thank you. Give me time to handle that. So you're saying to me, there's a calmness to me, and you're asking, have I ever been broken? In general, or there's ever moments where I cry in regards to this piece. I'm going to refer back to the video Michelada, because the Michelada was the beginning of this piece. And Michelada is on YouTube. It was featured on NPR, shameless plug. It's some of the footage you see in the back where I'm starring in it, and I play these 3 different characters that are actually seen here today. Getting into Dion, which is played live by Gloria, working with Kinga in the studio, there was a lot of moments where there was a lot of crying, because I couldn't remember how Dion felt. I couldn't remember how the femininity felt, and that kind of broke my heart a little bit. So that was really, really tough getting back into that character, but I think the calmness comes from feeling centered from the life of the characters now, if that makes sense. Any other questions? And again, any questions for the cast or anybody? So.
This is for the cast.
So, so there's 3 characters that you've come up with. As cast member, how did you connect with the character that you played? How did you connect with Dion? What is that? What story of hers is yours?
So the question was, what story did I connect with Dion? I'm lucky enough that I know DW, and I never knew Dion at that age or at that time. We have a very different kind of femininity in our regular lives, but I was lucky enough to have a lot of time together with DW, the artist, and get to understand some of her life, get to understand some of the stories, and talk with one another. And we spent a lot of time, a little bit of time on the choreography, but really a lot of time on the characterization and the facial expression and the walking and all of that to kind of embody the character.
Time, I just want to be mindful. So one more question maybe? Okay, so we only have time for one more question. Mind you, you can speak to me offline, and you can follow me at DW Walks on Instagram, and you can check out my website at DWMcCraven.com, where Michelada is posted, and an interview about FB Buouyancy. Put that in there. Last question. I can take a few more questions?
Yes.
So let's go for maybe, okay, I'll just go and you tell me stop.
Mine's not a question, it's actually just a comment. I just wanted to let you know that the moment with the dance live on stage with the video behind it was just incredibly beautiful. And that combination of seeing, dance in front with what was happening behind, I just thought it was a really powerful moment to watch. So great work on that.
I'm gonna say Kinga McCraven choreographed the video and she choreographed the stage stuff. So props. Okay, any other questions?
Hey, sister-in-law.
Hi. 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 Hi.
So it seems to me that sometimes people might choose to change characters off screen and then come back on. And as we were watching you change characters, I think we all had our own interpretation of that. So I'm wondering, as you chose to choreograph that on stage, what was behind your thought process and why you wanted to do that in front of everybody?
So, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both of us, but I feel like Kinga might have the clearer answer on this one. So I'm going to give it.
Well, when we started to create this piece, one of the first things we talked about, because this piece had a lot of inspiration coming from the video. So in the video, she was able to shoot Exodus one day and Dion another day and DW a whole other time. So it was a lot easier to portray those three characters. And when we started talking about putting this on stage, we thought, okay, how are we going to put these three characters together? And we started to troubleshoot that and think about that. And then I remember there was one moment we were like, wouldn't it be amazing if Exodus undressed in front of everyone and showed that underneath Exodus is actually DW, and that is not only a great way for her to show both characters, but also to give the audience an idea of what Exodus is and who he comes from, which is a part of DW. So because DW is the person that she is right now, the person that we see every day and the person that she identifies as, Exodus is an alter ego, if you will, her drag king. And Dion is a part of her that she is not every day and is often forced into. So these both of these characters are not entirely her, are not who she is every day on the street, and are kind of like a costume. And so that's why when she says her last line, they're here for Exodus, she's talking about how they're not here for DW. They're here for Exodus, and they don't want her to take her makeup off and her clothing off and become DW, because that's not acceptable. It's only acceptable to be Dion or Exodus. So it was that unveiling.
Exactly. Any more questions before we wrap? Okay, it looks like that. So, okay. So, look, that concludes our talk back, and okay, my bad.